Hi guys, it's Emily from My Debt Free Girl here, back with another pantry challenge video for you all. So if you've been following along, you know in May I'm doing a bit of a pantry challenge, keeping my grocery budget at about $4.50 for my family of 5 for the whole month, eating through what we've got in the freezers, the pantry, the fridge, and just making sure we're using things up and rotating them so that they don't go bad and we're not wasting food, because less food waste means more money that stays in my pocket. Don't forget, if you like this kind of content, to like, comment, and subscribe. Click the little notification bell to be notified when I post new videos, which is about every other day at the moment, and I will see you later in the video. Alright, so tonight, to get us started for our pantry challenge, I am going to cook up a 2.2 kilo shoulder of pork, boneless shoulder of pork, and then that should be the base for a few of my meals this week, so I don't have to worry about protein too much because I am very low on meat and this is more about using up other things. So I'm going to do that. I just roasted tonight, probably with some scalloped potatoes and some vegetables. We're going to do scalloped potatoes a couple of times this week rather than potato bake, because it uses 1/3 to 1/4 of the cream, and I have half a jug of cream in there that I need to use up. It also doesn't require bacon, so it's less ingredients, but it's still really, really tasty, and it will fill up my family of 4. Well, 4 people eating. So I'm going to do that tonight and I'll show you that now. Then the plan is to dice and slice up the rest of that pork to then go into things like fried rice or stuffed capsicums, or for ramen and soups and broths and stir fries later on in the week. So stay tuned for that. Hubby and I are having some potato skins after I made the scalloped potatoes, which are sitting in the fridge while the pork cooks for an hour, hour and a half, and then I'll throw them in for the last 30 minutes. But we're snacking on some delicious potato skins. I just did salt, pepper, a little bit of chicken salt, and a little bit of paprika for color. And here is the finished meal. It was utter chaos, carving the pork and serving everything up and the baby screaming, so I didn't get to record that for you guys. But it's basic salad potatoes, basic pork with some gravy, and just a winter veg. So we're done with dinner, and I poured all of the juices, the fat, some water, salt, pepper, a little bit of garlic powder into a stock pot, brought it to a rolling boil and boiled it for about an hour. I could definitely have done longer, and I could definitely have added more salt, but I can always do that again when I am using it. It's just going to be a quick, cheap, homemade, basic broth. It's not a bone broth because there was no bones in it because it was a shoulder piece, but I have 2 liters that I will probably use for some delicious pork ramen, and I've cut up all the meat for that. I've got plenty of meat left over for pork ramen and for fried rice, and probably maybe another pork stir fry. We'll see how much meat we use in the ramen and the fried rice, because neither need a lot of meat and it goes quite a long way. Alright, so I took about 3 heaped tablespoons of brown onion gravy, which is gluten-free, the Greybox brand is at least, and I mixed it up with some hot water, made it nice and thick, and then I very thinly sliced up a few slices of my leftover pork, stuck it in a big bowl, mixed it around while the dinner rolls were baking, and that's a gluten-free bread roll at the back there, and then microwaved it when it was time, and this is going to be our lunch today. Some mini pork and gravy rolls for lunch. I'm also going to finish the leftover scalloped potatoes from last night's dinner. Mr. 8 decided that he would like to do dinner this night, and I'm fine with that. So he decided to go through the fridge and the freezer and find things that he could make easily. And he decided to go with half a packet of spring rolls that needed to be used up, some chicken nuggets, and then he made himself some fries to go with that. So here he is chopping up all of the potatoes for fries. I'm obviously supervising and watching. I do like to encourage independence. He just had that with some sauce and some peas, because you have to have a vegetable for it to be dinner. Alright, so obviously I couldn't eat any of that. I could have had the chips, but I wasn't actually that hungry, so I just had some leftovers from the fridge and some fruit. And a lot of the time, if they're having something that I can't have with lots of gluten, or I just can't be bothered, somebody else is cooking, that's the kind of thing I'll have, just fruit, some chopped up veg, and leftovers. Again, helping rotate the things in and out of the fridge and pantry. So I don't have very much time before school pickup, so I'm going to whip up a cup of noodles, a homemade cup of noodles. I have these vermicelli rice noodles, and I have some vegetables. I got some chives or some shallots. I sliced a carrot. I got some beans I'm going to cut up. I got some salt. It's MSG, pepper, gluten-free soy sauce, ginger, garlic. I'll use a stock cube, or I actually have some pork stock broth in the fridge I might use. I'm going to throw this all together, microwave it, and that will be my lunch. I might throw a handful of pork in it because I do have some cold in the fridge. Dinner tonight was some chipolata sausages in some more dinner rolls with some caramelized onion and cheese and sauce. Quick, easy, fun for the kids, and not a problem. I just had leftovers for my dinner again this night. So for lunch today we have a beef oyster sauce noodle bowl. So I have made my mince with about 4 tablespoons of oyster sauce, 2 tablespoons of honey, 2 tablespoons of soy sauce. I cooked it in sesame oil with some 2 tablespoons of honey, a big heaped tablespoon of garlic, which wasn't in the original recipe that I got this from, but I like it with the garlic. It makes it a little bit more savory, and a heaped tablespoon of ginger, and it is delicious. And then I just quickly stir-fried up some broccoli, some onion, some red capsicum, and some purple cabbage that I had to use up with sweet potato noodles. And this is what they look like when they're cooked, because I've had questions about these before. And they are clear and stringly and amazing, and they have really good bite to them. So yeah. That is our lunch today for our pantry challenge. So tonight's dinner is a roasted pepper fettuccine. Obviously this isn't fettuccine pasta. This is leftover gluten-free mac and cheese that I'm using for mine. The kids and hubby have the fettuccine that is also from the pantry basket to be used up. This is a vegetarian meal. I roasted 4 small red capsicums that were starting to look a bit sus. And then I sauteed some onions, some garlic, salt, pepper, parsley. I threw in a glob of cream cheese instead of cream because I wanted to use up the cream cheese and not open a cream. Threw in some HelloFresh cheese we had left over. And we have a delicious vegetarian pasta sauce, or you could have it as a soup. And I have made enough for leftovers for tomorrow. So I've got smoky cheese. I have camembert cheese, half a round. I have a few slices of cheese left over, half a packet of pepperoni, and chorizo. I was just going to do the chorizo, and then I couldn't find it. I thought, oh, I must have forgotten and used it. So I was going to do pepperoni and cheese and make it pizza-like to make up for that. And then at the last second I found the chorizo, so I'm throwing that in there too. And here is my sheet pan of roasted veg. And now I'm going to layer it up with cheeses and meats, throw it back in and cook it, and it's going to be delicious. So I have loaded this tray up. It's like an inch thick. I could have kept some of the pepperoni for another meal, and I could have kept chorizo for another meal, and cheese for another meal, but I decided today is not the day to be skimping. So I'm going to throw this in, let all of those fatty, delicious meats release their juices and the cheeses to melt, and I'm super keen to eat this. And there it is, hubby's, mine, Mr. 8's, and Miss 5's, and it looks so good. Don't forget, if you like this kind of video, to like, comment, and subscribe. Click the little notification bell to be notified when I post new videos, and maybe share it with somebody else who might like this kind of thing. I will catch you guys in the next one.